Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is Gabnet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Connect to life.
We do have several listeners online tonight who are either dealing with parents who have Alzheimer's or who have dealt with that and are now past the final stage.
Connect to love.
Hey, Dad, that was so creepy that you told Melissa that you had sex in 8 years.
Creepy. I don't know what's
and
wrong
you should.
with
It was
my
like
life.
deer in the headlights. Boink. Like.
Oh my God! No wonder he didn't show up to the parade afterwards. He was embarrassed.
Connect to happiness.
Bumping and bumping, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you
Holy
really
cow.
were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to do that.
Yes.
There we
to
go.
blow it out sometimes.
Yeah. Like a Brazilian blowout was a Cuban blowout going on over here. That's going to put it out there for you people.
Connect with Connections, a nightly feature of Gabnet. Join hosts Melissa Fox, Linda Nunez, Porn Star Pete, abetted by Lizzie Say What, and Mr. Punchline as they engage in a lively 2-hour romp that is bound to keep you happy and, yes, connected. Each show tackles a lifestyle or relationship topic relevant to people interested in improving themselves, dealing with the ups and downs of life, and those interested in spicing up their relationships. The gang, along with special guest hosts, share stories and connect the topics with humor to current events in entertainment, politics, culture, and even sports. So get connected, Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern and Tuesday through Friday at 1 a.m. It's Connections, here on Gabnet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hi, everybody. This is Alex Bennett, and I've had a long and interesting trip. It's called life. And for years, people have demanded that I write a book about it, and while I've been a writer, my main talent has always been that of a broadcaster. Over a year ago, I decided not to write the book, but using my best skill, I decided to tell it. It's called Life in the Passing Lane, and I described it as an audio biography. It's presented in 30-minute chapters, so it's easy to binge listen. And you can access it on the Gabnet page by clicking on Life in the Passing Lane and going to a page with every single episode, plus some extras. If you want to access it on your mobile device, that's easy too. It's on iTunes. It's Life in the Passing Lane, an audio biography by me. I'm Alex Bennett.
Every Friday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, get yourself comfy and listen to Gabnet's Late Night Lady, 30-Minute Marjorie.
I'm going to bed. I've had a hard week. I think it's lacking nookie. So I'm tired.
That's my wife, by the way. If you just joined us, I'm Alex Bennett. This is The Ramble. It goes till midnight.
I think we should take bets.
What
time I'm going to fall asleep.
On tonight's show?
Yeah, all bets.
I'm saying you'll make it through the first half hour.
I'm usually good for half an hour. It's after the half an hour that...
Last week, before the half hour was over, you were falling asleep while I was talking to you.
That's not true.
That's true.
That's not true.
It's true.
How could I talk back to you if I'm asleep?
30-Minute Marjorie is not an official program on the Great American Broadcast Network, a tune-in partner. The length of Marjorie's appearance will vary on each and every Friday night, depending on how tired she is.
Celebrating 4 years of talk like you've never heard it before, this is Gabnet, the Great American Broadcast Network.
Hey everybody, how are you? Wait a minute, let me just get Okay, with that, I had to make some adjustments to your microphone there, because if we don't make adjustments to it, then everybody's going to hear. We get the
the AC.
The AC. To get too much of the AC in there.
Well, I said, why don't we just do a single?
Over here, it's just crowded that way.
We've done it before.
And then your voices are your off mic and everything like that. So, anyway.
Oh, he's on.
Huh?
He's there.
What do you stop it? Nobody knows what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right, okay. Well, anyway, hello, how are you? What's up?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. Quit looking at that.
What was the name of that?
Why don't you explain what happens that completely gets your attention?
I like to watch Damien close his section, and he does it in under 30 seconds.
Oh yeah,
He's fast.
He's about 6 minutes. He's got that thing posted.
But what was the name of the program that I saw that he was talking about?
Oh, Castle Rock.
Oh, Damien, really? I saw 2 episodes and it just sucked. And the reviews
I saw 3, and I haven't gone.
See 3?
And I haven't gone back for a 4th yet. Although I'm going to.
Well, the reviews were, and I kind of agree with it. I mean, it's good people that are in it, but the dialogue and this, it just drags.
You didn't
Sorry.
like it?
No, I gave it twice.
Yeah. I didn't find it that grabbing. You know what I found this week? Shecky turned me on to it, and it is you have all these what we call tentpole movies, like these Avenger films and all these Marvel.
You
things.
mean in the popular the popular now site that they have for the Academy Awards?
Popular pictures. How do you
Popular
determine
pictures.
what a popular picture is?
They're going to do it by money.
I think popular picture means it sucks. But anyway, so you got like the Avengers, which I saw the Avengers, the latest one, and I just went, they're just too many. It's like a gangbang of superheroes, and then they're killing them all off. All right? So I've kind of been down on these pictures. I like Thor Ragnarok. We like Guardians of the Galaxy, both of them. We liked what was the other thing we saw that we liked a lot? Deadpool.
That was good.
But overall, I found these pictures to be kind of, I hate to say this, dull and noisy.
Yeah, and a lot of explosions.
Full of action.
And no plot.
They're not really movies in the traditional sense.
Popular movies. Now that there's, they're popular movies.
They're popular movies. Yeah. So anyway, so Shecky suggested this thing that I watch, and I figured, I'll give it a look, and it was so good that I said, this is better than any of these big movies they're making. And what it was animation, and it was kind of limited animation in a way, done by Warner's Animation, and it's called The Death of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And it is terrific because it not only has a great story and a lot of really great, interestingly done animated action, but it also has relationships going on, and it has interwoven stories about the people involved. Lois Lane finds out for the first time that Clark Kent is Superman, and then he goes off and gets killed at the end. He dies at the end, and there's a big funeral. I mean, it is a great. I don't think it's out yet. I think it will be out shortly, and it'll be available, I guess, on video. It's not going to the theaters. Watch this thing.
What's it called?
The Death of Superman. It is just terrific. I sat there for about an hour. It's only about an hour and 15 minutes. Just riveted watching this thing. Going, I can't believe how involving and how well done this is. And then you compare it to all those other films. Boy,
all the other popular films?
Yeah, the popular films.
The popular films.
And it just outstrips all of them. And I suggest that when you can, and you can.
What channel? Where is it on?
It's going to be sold, I think, on Amazon, and it's going to be probably available on
Netflix.
Not Netflix.
Netflix original.
Not Netflix. No, not Netflix.
Epic.
And someplace where you're buying it.
Oh.
Okay, basically, but it's really good. It was really good. I was amazed. And I watched this, Avengers, the Infinity Wars, Avengers Infinity Wars, and it's it's okay, but to begin with, there were so many superheroes that I wasn't up to speed on. There was one superhero I went, who the fuck is he? He like had a dot in the middle of his head, and he could shoot rays out of his head or something. And I went, I went to I've seen most of these Marvel pictures. Where did Rayhead come from? Or whatever his name is. And then there were a couple of other characters that were kind of, like Hawkman and just secondary, but they brought them all together for this 10th anniversary Avengers thing. And it's then at the end of it, they've killed off most of the superheroes, and there's a part 2 coming out.
Oh, God.
And by the way, part 1 is 2.5 hours. It just goes on and on. And then what they do...
Would you call it a popular movie?
Yes, it was a popular movie.
A popular movie. So it'll be up for Academy
It'll
Award.
It'll be up for an Academy Award.
Oh, God.
And then they put Guardians of the Galaxy in this picture. As one of the, and they kill off one of them. Well, you see, when I say they killed off almost everybody in this picture, I guess I'm not doing anything by, spoiling it for you by telling you that one of the Guardians of the Galaxy got killed.
You know which one I liked? I liked the one about the Superwoman that came from that island.
Oh, well, that's Wonder Woman.
Oh, it was great.
That's Wonder Woman.
That was great.
That was the only DC picture that was any good.
And I could see...
Yeah.
More and more of it.
Yeah, but I mean, it was very well done. That was DC has been kind of a failure at movies, except for the Christopher Nolan Batman films. Otherwise, they've been pretty lousy. But that thing, Wonder Woman, was terrific. It was just terrific. So, and there will be more of them. You can bet your life on that. But what they're going to do is they're going to work her into all these other, like, the Justice League pictures and things like that. And I just wish, for instance, Guardians of the Galaxy, I wish they had just left them alone.
Yeah.
And made them their own series. Luckily, Ant-Man, which was pretty good, the latest Ant-Man and Wasp.
I never saw the original Ant-Man.
Very good. Yes, you did,
No,
I think.
didn't.
I think we went.
Didn't
Maybe
see
I
it.
went without you.
If it was in 3D and I went with you, I probably fell asleep.
You probably did.
That's the nice thing about going to a movie with 3D, because you can't tell if I'm awake or not.
I can't tell if you're awake or not. Exactly. So. But anyway, I really liked, Superman, the Superman thing, Death of Superman. I just, and who else? Oh, yeah, they had a lot of the other superheroes in this thing. They had, I think they had Aquaman in it.
Oh, God.
Aquaman, I never understood Aquaman. When I grew up on these comic books. I mean, they were there back then. Superman was already a major
Dick Tracy.
thing. Well, no, forget that. I'm talking about the superheroes.
Oh, well, he was a super cop.
Yeah, Batman,
Right.
Superman, Wonder Woman, which I wasn't a big favorite of. I didn't like that much, and I always liked S&M in later years. I don't know why I didn't like Wonder Woman. Okay, but now I appreciate Wonder Woman. I think
It was done so well, too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just right on.
that movie. But I'm saying Wonder Woman as a comic book.
Oh.
And but we had Supergirl, had Superboy. We even had a super dog. I can't remember what his name was, Astro or something like that. Anyway, but I grew up on all those superheroes, and there were some of them that I just didn't get. Like, I didn't get Aquaman. Aquaman never seemed all that interesting. When all the guy can do is swim, I'm not going down there. I don't care what's happening down there. But they're folding Aquaman into the DC universe. Aquaman has his own movie coming out.
Jesus.
Now I remember that show. What was it with the bunch of guys hanging out in Hollywood? What was it? Where there were four of them, and it was they were in Hollywood, and I'm trying to remember the name of the show now. See how far my
Men
mind
Over
has gone?
40?
No,
or
no,
not
no,
that-
no, no,
not
no,
that
no,
one?
no. This is young guys. He's a movie star, and they're his.
Oh, right. Entourage.
Entourage. And I said, and they're his entourage, and then I came up
There
with the
you
name.
go.
Entourage pulled a major joke in that show, in that he gets the part, he wins the part of playing Aquaman. And that's a big joke because everybody's going, how are you going to make an Aquaman movie? Who wants to make an Aquaman is now one of these
Popular movies.
popular movies.
Popular. I'm going to see how many things are going to be put up for popular movie.
Well, you know
and
something?
what determines it?
Well, look, to begin with, these movies,
cheapens
these
it. It
movies,
cheapens it.
well, cheapens the Academy Awards. But
Yeah.
let's be honest, these films that are popular are considered popular because they sold a lot of tickets, and when they sold a lot of tickets, they made a ton of money.
Right, doesn't make it a good movie.
No, but I say it made
Yeah.
a ton of money.
So that makes
Who
it
gives
popular.
a shit about an award? Give me the money. I'll be happy to turn.
Well, they're trying to get another generation, younger people, to watch it.
But it's stupid.
I agree.
Yes, they have come up with new categories. They came up with animated feature
Which
a
was
few
great,
years ago.
which was great.
Well, they had to because there were so many animated features being made, and they were of their own type, and the craft involved in it was different than in doing a normal movie. That because they always had best cartoon.
Yeah.
So best feature, okay. But what is
A popular movie. It's got to be the sales.
No, but it isn't like the most popular movie. It is what was the term they were using? Excellence in popular movie or something.
It means
or,
how much at the box office, because there's no other way.
Well, what they're trying to apply to it is that it also has craft associated with it.
What,
And by the way,
explosions?
there were
Explosions?
there were categories, believe it or not, for these popular pictures. Good example of a category would be best special effects, usually won by not some Meryl Streep movie.
Yeah, but they're taking that out and doing it at commercial time.
No, but what I'm saying is these things did win awards, but
That's
they were
right.
winning technical awards,
Which is fine.
which is fine.
Can't give a best actor to.
Are you going to tell me that the Avengers had a great script, or that it was a good movie? Yeah, it was a good popular movie. It was a good.
Well, it fits into the popular category.
It was a good amusement park ride.
Right.
Right. That's what these things really
Yeah.
are. And I just don't know if
Cotton candy.
they say they want to shorten the Academy Awards, so
Yeah.
they're gonna do that by taking some of the awards that are given, like maybe best costumes or whatever, and they're gonna give them away during the commercial
People want to
breaks.
see that.
Wait a minute, during the commercial breaks. And then at the end of the show, they're going to do a montage of all the winners over the night of the other awards. And they want to bring this in at under 3 hours. I've got an idea how you can bring it in at under 3 hours.
Stop the music.
No more dopey dance numbers and song numbers and stuff like that. Do a medley.
Do the way the BAFTA used to do it. Because last year they.
BAFTAs don't have best songs.
No, but last year they started with the little.
All they did at the very beginning, they had Cirque du Soleil do something, and then that was it. And then they were back to just one award after another, and none
with
of that
one
stuff.
person introducing the next, the next.
And no comedy bits. Opening remarks by the host, and then here's this award, here's that award, here's this award, here's that award. 2 hours later, nobody gets hurt. It's all over. Okay. Granted, it's BBC and they don't have commercials, so with commercials it would be 3 hours and very efficient. But do away with those dopey dance numbers. Do you have to play every song? And by the way, when you talk about best song in a movie, do you know when those songs are played in the movie? Usually
at the end.
The very end. Okay? Very seldom are they in the movie. I mean, in Frozen, they were in the movie. But in all these other films, it's like the closing credits music.
It's 10:20.
I know.
I'm just saying.
No,
Can I come over?
Stop with that. No. no, 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 no.
I tried.
I'm too tired to do a show tonight. I don't feel
so
well.
why don't you
I
say
don't
good night?
feel well at all.
Come to bed
I
early.
don't feel well. Anyway, so all I'm saying is that I think that they have, you know, and when people say, well, you know, these pictures never get nominated. Well, you know why they don't?
Because they suck.
Well, because they don't have. They have
plots. They have no plots.
They have craft, and those crafts are honored in the special effects and so on.
Stage design.
But, you know, I mean, script or acting, you know, even the actors in them. You got guys like Mark Ruffalo, who plays the Hulk, right? Who will probably be the first one to tell you that his acting jobs in those pictures are just, he walks right through them. You know, they just do their little thing and they go. You know, it's not like they it's not like some movie where he's really got to act, you know, pull out his chops. So there's that problem.
But what constitutes a popular movie? And I think it's tickets, sales.
Well, suppose
that's the only thing.
Wait a minute, I got a question for you. Suppose there's some small film, right? Like Get Out was nominated for Best Picture this year. Was Get Out a popular picture?
Probably not.
I think it was.
It was?
Yeah, I think it would. I mean, who's going to determine what comes under that category?
Yeah.
Under normal conditions, people could say Get Out was a horror film. Okay? But it went beyond that. There was a subtext that was just better done than that. And
I agree, because when I saw it the second time, I really appreciated it.
What category would that fall into? Popular film? You know, it certainly.
You know what it does? It also reduces the specialness of what the other categories are all about.
Well,
it just kind of drains it.
There you're being old-fashioned. You know, I think if there was a new category of film.
I like what the Brits do. They do ensembles.
Well, they do ensembles in the SAG-AFTRA Awards. With SAG-AFTRA every year, we vote for best ensemble. In other words, all the actors together in a film. Okay, but and you don't really need that. But all I'm saying is that it's kind of sad. You know, it's really sad.
They're watering it down.
They're watering it down, and it's not being old-fashioned about it. I think that popular films, by the way, have been nominated.
Sure.
Titanic was a popular film.
Avatar.
I think both of them got nominated for Academy Awards for Best Picture. They didn't win, but they got nominated for Best Picture. Back when there were only 5 nominations, when it was harder to get a nomination, there was Star Wars was nominated for Best Picture.
Was it?
Yes. You know, it didn't win, but it was nominated. You know, and I think maybe maybe Raiders of the Lost Ark was also nominated as well. You know, so these
popular. I mean,
these things do get nominated.
Just cheapens it.
Well, it's too nebulous a category. I mean, how do you determine? Suppose somebody
ticket sales. It's got to be ticket sales.
Suppose Meryl Streep does a film that all of a sudden is this huge hit. I mean, it makes $1 billion for one reason or another, although I find that impossible to believe.
Is that a popular film?
That would be a popular film, I guess. Right? I don't understand it. You know, so who's going to define what's a popular film and what isn't a popular film?
I think it's time for me to
It's not time yet. Stop it. Listen, if you want to leave, you can leave.
I didn't say that.
If you don't want to hang out with these people,
no, I love to hang out with these people, but I'd rather that they call now rather than 5 minutes from now.
They don't care about talking to you.
I know.
You know, you're just a pain in the ass to them, just like you are to me.
Well, that's nice talk.
Now, because you haven't been very nice to me.
Oh,
lately.
Look who's talking.
You haven't been nice.
Look who's talking.
You haven't been nice to me lately.
Hey, let's not even get into that.
No, I
don't. It's 10:25.
No. You come home. Wait a minute. You come home from work, and I appreciate that you work. Would you please not do that? Don't do that.
See what I have to put up with.
See what I have to put up with. Anyway, where was I? Where
popular movies?
No, it wasn't popular movies. Oh, about You always give me grief. Like the other night with the air conditioner. I didn't.
Oh, let's talk about the other night with the air conditioner. 2 nights in a row, I wake up in a ball of sweat.
Well, because it was broken. Why do you think I had it replaced?
And then he puts the broken air conditioner in another window. I'd rather have the window.
Well, then I'm sorry you weren't here when it had to be done.
I'll pay him to take it out. It's broken. What are you gonna do? Fix it?
It's not that broken.
So put it in the guest room.
It's fine where it is.
No, it's not. It looks terrible.
Well, then
I'll take care of it.
What you do is you get some plastic, clear plastic, and put it in there. I want that air conditioner there. I do.
No.
Why doesn't what I want count?
You've got all these back rooms, Alex.
No, look what I got. Look what I got for an air conditioner. That thing.
So let's put that one from the living room in there.
No, because it's too strong. It would blow the fuse.
Well, whatever he says you could use, let's get it.
No, but I mean the thing is, no, you're not.
Okay.
You're not. What happened was we had on that old air conditioner these accordion pleats, and after 5 years they've gotten pretty scuzzy, aren't they?
I think it's time for
That's
you to roll
confusing
over.
people. Just go back there until it's time.
It's time.
Oh boy, you're losing us audience by doing this.
Whose fault is that?
Yours. Anyway, no, I mean we can get some plastic to put in there like we
I
have
don't
in the
want
other
plastic. I'd rather have the window. We don't
I don't
use
need
it.
another window to open.
Well, I'll open it and I'll close it.
No, I don't want that air conditioner is still good. It's still usable.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So put it in here.
No, it's too strong for in
So put
here.
it in
Blow
the
a
guest
fuse.
room.
It'd blow a fuse in there. The most we can put in here is 8,000.
Okay, let's open up the books. The whatever.
You know, you're
line.
exhausting me with this whole air conditioner
What
bullshit.
is talking about? I mean, my God.
So we got another 2 minutes. I'm going to make you sit there for the next 2 minutes.
So there.
So there. There's,
We have people coming for a week.
Yeah, we don't tell them who.
Okay. But just a whole week.
A whole week.
Yeah, well, you know, if I roll over, you could turn down the air conditioner. You
What?
can turn off this and we won't hear it.
They won't hear it.
Right.
I see.
Okay.
I didn't say you could roll over
I'm
yet.
rolling.
No, you can't roll over yet.
Here. I'm here to stay.
Here, why don't you stay? Wait a minute. Let me put you right there. There, like that. There you go. There she is, folks. You like that? But not everybody's watching the video, so, you know. Well, let me open up the...
Thank you.
I'll open up the lines early. Nobody's going to call.
Good idea, Alex.
Huh? What do you mean, good idea? So did I tell you that Skype is going to be
Skype got Skype to hell.
not gonna change to the new
Yeah,
Skype?
they've gotten a lot of complaints.
Huh?
A lot of complaints.
How do you know?
Because they wouldn't have kept the old system if they,
If they had what?
they didn't get the complaints.
They didn't get the complaints. Well, they apparently nobody liked the new Skype, and so they've said, "Well, we're holding off on forcing people to go to the new Skype,"
Right.
which would have ruined the show.
For now.
Would have ruined the show.
I agree.
I was considering closing it down if I didn't like
Oh,
it. Oh, here comes John Perulis. He's way early.
Good.
For somebody.
thank you, Lord.
Let me take a crack at who your guest is, a mystery guest.
No, don't.
No,
don't,
no.
Don't.
Oh, God, I had a
No.
good one. I had it all lined up. It's like my punchline.
It's your punchline? What do you mean your punchline?
Well, yeah.
Huh? What?
It's someone that appeared on the punchline, and it's not Durst.
No, it's not a
Oh,
comedian.
Not a comedian?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I had. I had a comedian.
Who'd you think?
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Oh, yeah, like I'd have him staying here.
Right. You'd have to have a voodoo priest come and smoke your house and do a cleansing afterwards.
Yeah, well, you know, that would never happen.
Is this a Phil-free night?
No.
No?
No.
So, Phil, feel free.
No, Phil will be here. We
There he
go
is.
together these days. You know, I've gotten to be friends with Phil. Hey, that's one of the great things about being on the show. I've met two incredible people. You know, Ray Renati, and there he is. I told you he'd be around.
And Phil, where's Ray?
Hey, how you
Ray's
doing?
walking his dog.
Yeah, he's either that or, you know, practicing for a role or something.
I'm saying goodnight, everyone. It was a long week.
Yeah, she's leaving.
See
Hey,
ya.
guys, I got to show you something. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
You got him back.
No, new ones. So now I got the
How many
two
pairs
that.
do you have?
Let's see. The one I'm wearing, that's 4, 5, 6.
6 pairs of earphones?
Yeah.
There's a lot of ears.
Now look at this. This is a Sony, the ones that got stolen from me and recovered. You know, they're almost $100, and I got these for $30. Paulson. They sound just as good as the Sonys, and so I'm wondering, Phil, that I waste my money on Sony. I mean, these things.
You know,
look at the.
They're probably what Sony buys.
Well, I'll tell you what happened with Sony years ago when they first came out with the Sonys. Goodbye, dear. She's
Bye.
leaving.
Bye.
When Sony came out with the earphones, I bought a pair to use on the radio, right? And they sounded great. I mean, they were fine. They were terrific. However, within a month, they were broken because
Really?
the cord frayed and fell off.
yeah.
And the thing was, these earphones were fine for some kid who was sitting in his room, you know, doing whatever
Yeah.
he's doing. But for doing it in a radio studio where they get banged around and so on, they didn't last at all. So we went out and got other earphones. I didn't use Sony's for years, and then all of a sudden, I guess, they started showing up in studios. And I'm one of these kind of people. A lot of guys, you know, in the radio business, they'll get their own earphones and they'll take them to work with them. And here are my earphones, and they will take them out of their suitcase, their baggage, or whatever they take with them, and here plug in their earphones, you know, and so on. I never gave a shit. I'll take whatever is sitting there on the console.
Do they do that with microphones? They use their own mics?
No, some guys do, you know. Some people do.
What's the most expensive mic you've ever used?
I don't know if there is an expensive mic that I've used.
Yeah, there's some that are like $4,000.
Yeah,
Those,
no,
I've never.
I forgot their name.
I've never.
Oh,
used
there
it.
he is. We predicted.
Hey,
We said Ray Renati's going to be walking his dog. That's how he's going to come into the show.
We never, when it came to, what were you asking now, microphones?
Mike.
Yeah, most expensive mic you've ever.
The average mic that's in most studios are Electro Voices.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the most expensive mic, I don't think they're. Oh, we lost him. There was a most expensive mic, you know, because they weren't going to waste they weren't going to spend $4,000 on a Telefunken or something like that you'd have in a recording studio, because you didn't need that for a voice for a radio station. Yeah. So usually most stations had. Boy, he can't hold a signal, can he?
He's on his phone.
Yeah, it was the best. Usually, Electro Voices were what were in most studios that I ever worked.
Well, that was the broadcast standard. I remember I was trained by KPIX cameraman.
They weren't the.
Everybody used Electro Voice.
They weren't the broadcast standard.
For video news, for television.
No, you're way too far in advance. In radio, the microphone that I grew up on was the 44DX, RCA 44DX.
Is that the one that looked like a fist?
No, the one that looked like a fist was the DX77. I believe.
Is that the one on Johnny Carson's desk?
No, the one. Yes. That was.
Yeah, well, that's still used.
Well, no, they're not really used. When you see them, they put another microphone inside that one.
Oh, it's for show.
For show.
It's just a prop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, those RCAs were great mics. They were ribbon microphones, and they were terrific. But still have it here. It's in the other room. An Electro. What do you call it? An Electro Voice. What was the number on it? 35, I think. 35A.
It's that little one, right?
Yeah. And if you look back at like Frank Sinatra singing, he had that mic, and everybody used that mic. And I bought it for $35 in the 50s.
Wow!
And it's still
That was expensive.
It still fucking works.
Yeah.
You know. And they're about $135 now. They still make them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that schmuck didn't steal my SM58s. I mean, those are so dependable, and they have an excellent sound rejection.
You know something? Our audience really doesn't give a shit. They really
well,
don't.
that's the mic a lot of rock singers.
You know, we don't give a shit what they give a shit about.
Yeah.
Well, I know. That's why nobody's listening right now.
Wait a minute. I saw 21 people. Hey, 21 people.
Yeah.
It's 26. All right. Thanks for listening.
By the way, that is not accurate. That does not give me the true number that I'm going to get by the end of the night.
Oh, because there's another platform
no,
that you were saying that the show goes out on?
No. It's just that it only...
It's cumulative at the end of the night?
Yeah, it's cumulative at the end of the night, you know.
But at the current moment, you have 26.
Yeah. But that could be one person going on, another person quickly coming back on, you know, and that's why it stays at 26. We don't know. Most people only listen to this show for about a minute until they hear somebody talk about microphones.
Yeah. Ray, you got a travel log there, huh?
A travel log?
Yeah. You're showing us downtown Palo Alto?
Oh, yeah, it's very, well, up, down, yeah. South Palo Alto, Midtown Palo Alto.
Well, one time when I come out to California sometime, I'll have to take that walk with you.
Yeah. I don't think you'd like to do that because in Palo Alto they charge you a toll for walking on the sidewalks. Everything's very expensive there.
Yeah. Well, you know,
ridiculous.
Ray's got so much money it doesn't matter. You know.
Yeah, I'm just loaded.
Yeah, he's a former tech magnet.
That's funny when you ask me about the most expensive.
Actually, I do have a lot of good investments, but we don't have any income. I mean, our income sucks.
When you ask me about the most expensive microphone I ever used, I really don't think I ever really used what you would call. I mean, most of the microphones in radio studios are about $400 mics.
Yeah.
400 or 500.
Oh.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, and those are the really good ones. I mean, although I went and got this AKG because I had one in California when I was doing what do you play TV?
Live
Play TV.
Play TV. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the mic that she was using tonight, and so I liked the sound of it so much and the way it made my voice sound that I just bought another one. And that's really how you buy mics. You don't buy them by how expensive they are. I'm sure there's a microphone out there that costs $50 that makes me sound fine. You know.
I'm going to do a test right now and take out these $100 Sony headphones and go to my $30 headphones and see. All right, here I go.
But you know, Alex,
a lot of it.
You're able to get good volume out of that mic, and you're fairly good distance away from it. Whereas with this one, I have to be almost right at it in order for it to pick up the right pattern.
Well, this is I have it on directional mode here.
Oh, big difference there between the $100 headphones and these $30 ones. That $30 ones, the voice is sharp and clear and tinny. All the rich tones are out, but that's good for the ring announcers.
It actually sounds better.
Oh no, it's just earphones.
Well,
we're just talking. I just had 3 of these swiped from me on my last MMA shoot.
I know you did.
Oh, no.
Two of them recovered.
Yeah, anyway,
and that's because I was there.
The point is that today most people don't really have high expectations of the sound they're going to hear. They don't know what good sound is. Because what's coming out of an iPhone or what's coming out of an MP3 is really devoid of dynamics and things like that, and people have just lowered their expectations. So they'll put on a pair of these. I don't know what are the Dr. Dre ones, Beats, and they'll pay like $175 for the Beats, and because they've lowered, up the bass or something on them, they think, oh, these are sounding great. They don't know what sounding great sounds like.
I had a pair of the red ones, which supposedly some amount of that purchase went to save the rainforest, and they fell apart within 6 months.
Yeah.
Real junk.
Yeah. Well,
hey, now Red, that's the standard for the television industry.
Not the video. Not the video camera.
Here's the one I don't get. Okay, is Apple has these what I call them hash pipes.
Yeah.
That you put in your ears. Okay.
Right.
Bluetooth. Now, number one, I've never liked the Apple earpieces because, and this is the reason why, they don't fit. I have to actually wet them. I have to wet them with spit to make them stick. Okay.
Why don't you use that stuff I sent you?
Well, no, that's for cleaning the ears. But anyway.
No, it's not for cleaning your ears. It's for making the earplugs comfortable in your ears.
Well, no, but it isn't a matter of. It's a matter of keeping them in. Okay. But anyway, they have these little they're $150. These ear pods, I think they call them, or AirPods. Whatever.
I'd lose them.
I came home one day, and on the sidewalk is one of these AirPods, one of the earpods, and I'm thinking somebody walked by and their AirPod fell out, you know.
Well,
I was going to take it upstairs. I was going to take it, you know, since it was on the ground. And I figured I went back and I left it there because the guy might come back and go, "Where did it? Oh, there it is." Okay.
Yeah.
So or woman. But,
I have a question.
But wait a minute. Why would you use one of those earphones? They're so they look like hash pipes coming out of your ears.
I know why you only use one, because the guy dropped the other one on the sidewalk.
I see.
Oh, this guy outposed us. Look at this.
Oh yeah, the quiet one.
Well, there is an argument that Bose sucks.
I had the Bose too, and it fell apart in 2 years. As soon as the warranty was up,
I have a Bose.
I used to have the Bose ear.
I had those too. Yeah.
That's what I have right now. I really like them.
I liked them, but I'll tell you, I got these. What do you call it? This is Etymotics.
Yeah,
and
I like the Bose better than the Etymotics.
The Etymotics sound better than the Bose.
I have Etymotics.
I know.
They don't sound as good as the Bose.
Oh, you're wrong. You're so wrong.
The only problem with the Bose is that the glue seems to separate on the little earpiece, so if it separates within a year, they send you another pair.
So then,
okay, that's what happened with mine. It broke. So they'll send you another one. That's a good thing about Bose and Garmin. They just send you another one. You cut it in half and you send you another one. It's like a 5-year warranty. Yeah.
Oh wow! I threw.
Hey, you better watch out there, Ray. You're getting all this EMF bombardment on top of your head. You're walking under about 10,000 volts.
So then and then I went out and I got these. Okay.
Feels good.
Which is I can't remember what the name of them are, and in fact I like them because they stick together with a magnet. So when you got them around your neck, you know, boom, you know.
There you go.
Yeah, but these I bought them because they were just Bluetooth, and I had my friend Jack's girlfriend Natasha had them, and I figured, hey, what the hell? I'll give them a try. They're only like $30. They sound better than any earphones I've ever bought. I mean, they're really good.
Well, I'm hoping. You see, I have custom earplugs that are hollowed out so that they fit the Bose. I'm going to have them adapted to fit the Etymotics.
You know what you do with the Etymotics? Do what I do. Get these. Hold on a second.
I have the foam. You know, whatever that thing is. It's like a hard foam.
Let me show people. These are the foam. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what they are. And what you do is you squeeze them a little bit together, and they get old after a while, so you have to use a new one. But then you put them in, and they conform to your ear. Now they also have plugs for the Etymotics that you stick into your ear canal, and supposedly they're the best. But I never could quite get them to work.
Is that the vinyl rubber ones?
Yeah.
I always have to change them.
Yeah, that's Bree, isn't it?
Yeah,
different background.
That's Bree.
I wanted to ask Bree a question.
Bree, could you move
yesterday or today?
Hold on a second, Bree. Could you move your camera down just a little bit so we can see a little more of your face? There we go.
Yeah, great shot of your nostrils there, Ray.
Oh yeah, you like that?
Yeah. So, Bree, there was a woman either yesterday or today that was flying on Air Emirates. She was coming from the UK, and she had a glass of wine on board. She was traveling with her child, I think about a 5-year-old girl. They arrested her at when she landed in the Emirates or in Dubai, and they seized her passport. She was a dentist. And maybe this happened a week ago because she's run up significant legal fees, and they're not. She says that it may take a year to get out of there, and they're holding her in prison. Is that common in Dubai?
No.
Had you seen that article?
No. What is it again?
Don't have to tell the story over again.
Oh, no, I won't tell the story. It was a woman had a glass of wine on an Air Emirates flight, and she's being held in jail in Dubai. She and her daughter, 5 years old, because I guess they said that even if you're stopped and you're given a breathalyzer in Dubai and you have any alcohol in your system, they'll arrest you. Is that true?
And yet they serve it on the airplane?
I don't know.
Well, apparently they did.
Yeah, they must.
Oh, wait a minute, Bree. Is it against the law to drink in Dubai?
Gosh, there's so many things that it would take us an hour to go through.
I think it's against the law to get caught drinking in Dubai.
Wait a minute, let me get an answer, Phil.
Yeah, you need to have a license.
Really?
What, to drink? Wait a minute, to drink?
Yes.
I'm licensed to drink.
Why a license to drink? That doesn't make a lot of sense.
I'm reading the story.
British
now.
mom of yeah. Okay. Oh, so you're reading it? Okay. And I read it. It was in a UK paper. Online.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
You would think of Dubai as being a little more liberal that way because they want to attract an international clientele who doesn't want to be in fear of getting arrested because they've got an alcohol level.
Yeah.
And
so, anyway, this gal's a dentist, and she can't leave Dubai, so it's impacted her practice, and she's had to cancel all her things. She's losing money. I guess
I see what happened, Phil.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If you read the story, she basically got huffy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Freedom of speech.
Yeah, it says that.
No, it isn't a freedom of speech issue, Phil.
Her
visa.
Have to go back to London.
Yeah.
So she got in a tense standoff with the immigration officer. That's a bad idea.
Yeah.
You don't want to get into any arguments or tense standoffs with anybody anywhere who has power and authority over
I see. So well, I guess the newspaper article that I read only gave part of the story.
Oh, that's great.
No,
Ray.
Ray.
It's a dead rat.
Welcome to the South Bay, ladies and gentlemen.
No, welcome to the Alex Bennett Show. We feature dead rats.
Dead rats.
There's a little bit of dead rat that comes in from everything that's made in China.
Oh, hey, I went to show myself, showing the earphones, and I forgot to show you guys again. There we go. Okay.
Well,
sorry
Skype,
about
I
that,
see
folks.
You guys very easy, the whole thing, but I'm not watching anything else.
Yeah, but I had a problem doing it. So I mean, I did it wrong. I'm sorry, folks. I sit here trying to do the show and also do the video and also do the audio, and it's like rubbing your stomach and patting your head at the same time, and sometimes I'm just so phased out that I didn't notice that hey, I look good, my picture looks great there. Oh, wait a minute, it's not supposed to be on there. So anyway,
that's okay. I think your audience would rather see you than us anyway.
Probably. Well, you remember when we first started doing the video on this, I didn't have a way to show you guys initially, and I just showed me talking to you. Yeah. Remember, that was the way we originally did it on Facebook.
Numbers were up.
They were much better than they are now, you know.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say this is all because it's summer and it's hot and it's all kinds of things, and things will improve after the summer. But if they don't, I'm going to go down to 1 day a week and say, fuck all of y'all, you know.
Yeah. It'd probably improve listenership if they didn't get as much.
It could be. It could be. But, boy.
Now you froze out, Phil. Your,
I did?
Your
No.
image is
No,
off.
no, he's
Yeah, so she
Hold on. Say,
Ray, you better
Ray, mute your sound, Ray.
Oh.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't care if you can't see him, John, because we can, and that's all that matters.
That's too much.
He has a perfect picture tonight.
Where's the dead rat? I want to take a look at that again.
Well, the dead rat is gone.
I think they've passed it. Yeah.
Anything else dead on the road there, Ray?
So
shit.
Yeah, look, there's a dead possum right there.
What's that? No, that's not a dead anything. That's a piece of paper.
It's just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with my touch screen. No, it's not a possum. I'll look for some dead shit.
Yeah.
And make sure that I.
Did you see that sidewalk? How it's dropped down? What do you have, a earthquake fault going through that sidewalk?
Yeah, well, there's a creek right here. See?
Oh.
And they build concrete around it, but the concrete sinks because it's a freaking creek. It goes out to the bay, so there's all kinds of water underneath.
I see.
Hence
I don't
the
know.
Dead rat.
Mm-hmm.
All this grass in here used to not be here. I don't know why it's here. I guess they used to pull it, but now they leave it.
Yeah.
People used to fish in here. There were giant carp.
Well,
Huge.
Jeff should be on his way to where? In Italy.
Rome.
Yeah. Even as we speak.
Yeah.
You know?
What's it, about 10 hours? 10 hours from New York to Rome?
Let's see. It's about 8 hours to Paris. It might be 10. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's a long enough flight.
Oh, try China.
What's that? 20?
Yeah.
Oh no, not 20. No.
Well, I did that to about 19, 20 hours. I went to Shanghai. Stopped in Japan.
Shanghai, but I think to get to Beijing took us 16 hours, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
With layovers, I had a flight that I used air miles on. Delta's partner was Korean Air.
Yeah.
And the total flight was 36 hours, including layover, to get me to Sydney and then up to Cairns. It was a long.
Why didn't you take a direct flight?
Because I used air miles.
I used air miles to get to Beijing, and hell, I was on just a nonstop.
Well, I wish I would have been on a nonstop, but because their partner was Korean Air, I had to stop in Incheon. But
there wasn't like a United plane going.
No, it was a Korean Air going and coming back. But Delta didn't fly to.
Oh well, Delta's basically Delta.
So my miles were on Delta, and United flew direct.
Yeah.
But I would have had to pay money to do that.
Well, I have a United card. I got to start using my miles because I just know they're going to do away with some of them. You know.
As long as you keep using the card, I think they stay fresh.
Yeah, I've got 250,000 miles on my card, something like that right now.
Yeah, that'll get you a flight to Cincinnati.
I think it'll get me to Cincinnati. It's not that they do away with the miles; they just up the amount of miles it takes to get somewhere.
Yeah.
No, I think girlfriend and I could probably go to Europe and back on my miles easily.
Yeah, I think first class to Europe is 100,000 each. Or first class or business class. I think there's 100,000. I think it's 50,000 to go, and in coach. And if you go business class or first class, I think it's 100,000 each.
Is that round trip 50,000 in coach?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure anymore.
Hey, I might. I got 2 invitations to go to Ukraine in October. I just got to watch out for the friggin' Nazis because I've been seeing so many bad things about them online. So I don't know if I'm going to go.
Yeah.
I think the Nazis have to worry about the Ukrainians.
Now you're back in Dubai, right, Bree?
No, I'm in Pittsburgh now.
I was going to say.
God, I thought, oh my God, you know, Bree's calling once again. We get some exotic footage. So you're in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
How long are you in Pittsburgh for?
About a week and a half.
And then are you going back to Dubai?
Back through Paris and then Dubai.
I'll tell you something. I've got Apple TV here, and they have screensavers, and they go around the world shooting the screensavers, using I think what has to be
Dubai desert.
Well, the Dubai desert, but more than that, I'm going to turn the thing on. More than that, they also have Dubai and the Burj Khalifa. You know, did I pronounce it correctly? And the Burj Khalifa, and it's a shot of the whole area at night, and it is just incredible. Just incredible.
Yeah, I've got that as my screensaver on this laptop.
Yeah.
I can't show it to you. But
let me see here.
So, didn't you just get a new laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, and now I'm using my old Acer instead of my new ZBook.
Wait, hold on a second. Let me try and turn this.
So, any news on the job front?
Yeah, well, it looks like China is not going to wait for me. The timetable is off, but Malaysia is going to wait. So I got their first offer today. It's a little bit low, so I've got to. I have to do some research into, because they give a housing allowance. I need to see how realistic that is, and then I got to figure out how much the taxes are there, because I don't pay taxes in Dubai.
Can you see the TV set in back of me?
A little bit.
That is going over the. Hold on a second. Flying over the Dubai Marina.
Yeah, I walk there every day.
Yeah.
To get my groceries every other day. There's a Spinneys there that I go to.
What do you do, Bree?
I'm a teacher.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So I do have a question for the group, because when I got back on August 8th, I ordered this this Onyx Books Max 2. It's an e-reader that's really big, and they're not going to ship it. It was free shipping, but it was like 7 or 8 days, I forget. But I ordered like 3 or 4 things from Amazon. Now they've made me a Prime member for a month for free. So I'm wondering if I should cancel the original order, which still hasn't shipped, and then reorder it and get it in 2 days.
Not everything that Amazon sells that's Prime ships in 2 days, because sometimes it's from a third-party supplier. So you just got to check and see, what the actual ship dates are going to be.
I think that it would come in 2 days, but the thing I'm wondering is how they would charge my card. Like, would it sit on there for a month, or would they refund it immediately? Because it's pretty expensive.
Yeah, sometimes if they don't, I've had stuff that
let me just tell them, when they ship a thing at Amazon, they automatically charge you. They do not charge you until it ships. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I ordered something incorrectly on Amazon tonight, and it, within 30 seconds I canceled it. Yeah. I haven't checked the card yet to see, but I ordered the right thing.
You will not get charged for it, Phil, until it ships. Okay, so if you canceled it, it's not going to ship. Boy, this is an exciting conversation.
Oh.
Boy, thank God Patrick is calling.
You know how long we had to listen to you and your TV?
What?
How long we had to listen to your stories about your broken television? You can at least appreciate someone else's deal with Amazon.
You weren't even listening to the show because we weren't talking about a broken television.
I'm giving you a hard time.
But here's the thing. Sorry. Some companies are really good about customer service and others are not. Like, I'll give you an example. Airbnb, I've had really good experiences with them. Like, they immediately respond. There's another company I use called No Roaming. I'll show it to you here on my phone. I don't know if you can see it. But what this does is it's a sticker that goes over your SIM. And when you're abroad, you can get data for a cheap rate. Like, so I was in Paris for one day. I can't get a local SIM. I don't want to pay, outrageous roaming. So I have this SIM, No Roaming. They get back to me within 5 minutes of me emailing them. And Airbnb, it's usually within, 10 or 15 minutes. But Amazon, I can't get anybody. And Alex, you always complain about Microsoft Skype, like you can't reach anybody. And that's how I feel with Amazon.
Oh, I've talked to Amazon on any number of occasions. You just have to drill down a little bit into the site to get to the number, but you just go down to contact, and one of the ways in which you can contact them is by phone. And what you do is you call them, or you give them your number, and then they call you back, and it's usually within a minute or two. Okay. Am I right, Patrick? Patrick is agreeing. You agree, Patrick?
Yeah, I've had that where I've made a mistake or something would. That's what it was. Something was available, but when I kept trying to put it in my cart, it wouldn't do it. And I called them. I had to leave my number, and they called me back, and we cleared it up very quickly. And it was a human being. It wasn't some robot on the other end.
Right,
so,
right. And you really don't have to wait forever. You'd think with Amazon you'd be on the line for a half hour before you got to talk to somebody, and that couldn't be further from the truth. The worst customer service, and whenever I have a problem and I know I have to call them, I dread it, is GoDaddy. With GoDaddy, I one time waited 45 minutes to talk to somebody who could do what they had to do. And in the meantime, they've got this terrible music they play that's, I guess, supposed to drive you away.
You can selectively eliminate that if you want.
Yeah, you can selectively eliminate it, but then you don't hear anybody, so you don't know if you've been disconnected or not.
So Apple has that same kind of option where you can pick the kind of music you want.
Well, you can pick the kind of music you want. That's nice. This, you've just got this one thing. In fact, if you go online to like YouTube and say, GoDaddy online music, there's actually somebody who's got it there, and you can listen to it. And it plays over and over. And so when you're there for 45 minutes online waiting for somebody, and this thing is going on and on and on, it's maddening. And then when you finally get the person, they go, oh, well, we have to send you over to such and such. And then it's another 10, 20 minutes of this music playing. And
can you imagine if it was the song "It's a Small World" after all?
Yeah, well, I know.
They should have Gabnet on there.
I know somebody who got
trapped. You can hear people talking about their prostates and shit.
I know somebody who got trapped on that ride.
Dead rats.
On that ride.
On that
Small World ride, and literally, and the music kept playing because each area you go into, it then continues the music, right?
Yeah.
So you're listening to part of a loop. Yeah. Okay. Part of a loop. I don't. What is that? Jag-off?
Jag-off.
What is that?
I think it's beer.
What is that, Bree? Is it beer? It's hot sauce. It looks like
hot sauce.
Yeah, you guys, have you ever heard the term jag-off?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Jack-off. I've heard.
Yeah, but anyway. Let me. Where was I? What story was I telling?
You were.
Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about Amazon?
No, it wasn't about the phone number. Still, it was somebody got trapped in a ride.
Oh yeah, he got trapped in the ride, and the music kept literally in a loop, repeating. He said he was in that ride stuck for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And somehow nobody was coming to get them either. In fact, it took so long that these little kids who were sitting at a card table just started playing cards. Yes, Patrick.
Yeah, that happened to me as well, and it wasn't 2 hours, it was about 45 minutes. And I've been to Disney World 8 or 9 times, and only went to It's a Small World maybe 3 of those times. And the last time was when I was stuck on that boat, and it was just, it was too much. I mean, fuck that ride. So.
Yeah, no, that ride is the most horrible ride in Disneyland. I think, without question. I can't think of a worse ride.
It's creative.
Hey, Renato, are you trying to say something?
What?
He was showing a sign that said no hunting.
Oh, yeah, but he's showing us dead rats too. So you know.
Yeah. Well, somebody was hunting, obviously.
You know.
There. This my stupid thing. Skype's not working. Yeah, it's just for Phil.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to show Phil.
No.
Well, if I was wearing pants, I'd get up and get my NRA hat.
How about the stuff that Omarosa is talking about?
Oh, the N-word?
Yes.
And calling Kelly Ann Conway's Filipino husband a poo-poo head? I don't know. Some derogatory name.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. A fucking goo-goo. That's what it's called.
Jesus. Oh, God.
But according to her, there is videotape of Trump using the N-word. What I saw the report tonight, and it was on NBC, and I went, didn't NBC run The Apprentice? Don't you have that footage somewhere at your availability that you can show to us? But no, they were just complaining
in the
about
White
it.
House.
What?
I thought Omarosa recorded those things in the White House.
No. You don't pay attention to the news. You just see headlines. No.
I read a little bit.
The Goo Goo thing she heard in the White House, but she said she had heard that he was very famous for having used the N-word many times while doing The Apprentice.
That gets people fired, like Rosie O'Donnell and other people. But Trump said he could go and shoot somebody and he'd still continue on as president. And he
said that.
Yeah,
he did say that.
He did say that. Yeah.
Yes,
he said.
I remember when he said that.
Yeah, I think he said they wouldn't arrest him or something if he shot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue.
Yeah. By the way, I have something
he's
here.
actually right.
Let me again. I'm going to have to go to my screen, although I'll remember now to go back to you guys. But I want to show this. I saw this today, and I shot it off my TV set, and I wanted you to see it. That is a panel on MSNBC, and I was thinking, gee, where are the guys? There's not one guy there. It's like they're trying to be so politically correct, they can't even put a guy on there. I'm trying to show it.
Maybe one of them was a guy at one time.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I look, I'm all for women being on television, but come on, there's a panel.
If I was producing that show, I would have with those women that picture of the dead rat.
But there were like 5 women on the show, and all 5 people on the show, and all of them were women on the panel, and they weren't talking about something that was specifically important for women. Here, let me
like menstruation or something like that.
Or fuck that.
Me too.
Yeah. Hold on a second. I do have to.
Are you unzipping your fly?
No, my underpants ride up on me, and
oh Jesus.
That happens with age,
and it makes my nutsack hurt. So I have to do something about it. But what do you think about all this with Omarosa, Phil? I know what he's going to say. Why am I asking?
That people do that kind of shit, and if he did it in front of her, he must have felt comfortable doing it, and maybe there was an atmosphere that kind of conversation was acceptable.
Wait a minute.
It was a pussy-grabbing atmosphere.
Yes.
Yeah. So that it was acceptable. I don't see that those kinds of terms regarding racial people, stuff, is particularly correct. You know.
Look. Haven't you done it about Jews? I mean, I've made Jew jokes that would make Christians cringe, but
Yeah, but you're a Jew. You're a Jew.
Well, she was black. Maybe there was some conversation.
No, he didn't use the N-word in her presence in the White House. That's not the story.
Well, how did she get it on tape?
Because there are tapes of it from The Apprentice, which she saw.
Her tapes.
Which she saw. No, they're not her tapes.
Okay, who read the article?
Not me.
I did.
All right.
Okay. I don't read shit like that. It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Let me read this to you, and then you can. Okay. Former White House staffer and apprentice. Can I talk? Can I talk, please?
But every time I look for dead animals, I find piles of shit like underneath toilet paper. It's disgusting.
Omarosa tells NPR she heard Trump N-word tape contradicting her own tell-all book. Go ahead, Alex.
No, forget it. I tried to talk and nobody would let me, so forget it.
Well, it's adult abuse or age abuse, I think. Yeah. Elder abuse. That's what it is. Okay. Yeah, we wouldn't let you. Pin his arms down.
Anyway, so that's that. Anything else anybody want to talk about?
Yeah, I want to talk about what's going on in Turkey, Iran, and Russia right now, also Argentina, I believe, where they're Venezuela, where they're running over the borders. There's thousands of people going to Ecuador. Then the Iranian rial, I think, is in the dumper because of the sanctions that are being put on Russia, Iran, and Turkey by the Trump administration. And it seems, and also Iran set off a ballistic missile today, a short-range ballistic missile. So I guess they're getting. Iran is certainly starting to feel the heat of the sanctions.
How am I supposed to believe this story, Phil, when it's coming from you who can't get the Omarosa story correct?
Oh, the Omarosa story is bullshit.
Anytime you read a story, you always get it wrong.
Hey, do you see all these white pelicans?
Yeah. Okay.
Are any of them dead?
No. Well, I think.
Some might be.
There's got to be a dead one out there. All right, white pelican.
Whatever. Alex, I don't know that I get it wrong. It's just that I see it from a different perspective.
No, you get it wrong. You come up with a story and you say this is the story, and it turns out the story is something else completely.
Well, okay.
What you do is you read the headline, and then you imprint upon that headline your own idea of what the story is.
I read the story. But it's hard to read on a laptop, because you're scrolling, and all of a sudden you start seeing ads for what was Mr. T's Army record like.
You know what I think the problem is here is that we get little bits and pieces of the truth, not enough to put a whole picture together. Howard Zinn, who wrote the People's History of the United States, talked about that the mainstream news does tell the truth, but they draw such a tight circle around it that you don't get the full picture. And I think that's what the Amoroso story is. They might have been joking and said the N-word. I don't know. And then who do you believe? I mean, do you believe anybody these days?
Yeah.
I believe Alex. Anything that Alex Bennett says about his personal life, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, you're a trusted individual.
Yeah. Well, you too, Phil. One of the cool things is just getting to know Phil. He's a fantastic guy.
So
when he arrested us at the Greenpeace thing in the 80s. Sorry, Alex. I'm just going to toot Phil's horn a little bit. No, when you meet people in person, everything is different. Everything is different.
So anyway, Patrick, how have you been?
Should I go now?
Thank you. I'll send the money.
Hey, I got your buck right here, man.
Mute your camera.
All right.
Yeah.
You know, John needed a password, and being the age I am and the age John is, we couldn't remember the password, and so I borrowed a pen, but I didn't have a piece of paper, so I wrote it on a dollar bill and handed it to John. He still got the buck.
Oh, hey, we're getting a whole bunch of people now. Here we go. Anyway, Patrick, what's new with you? Anything?
No, not really. Just enjoying the weather that we had today versus the shit weather yesterday. So, well, I keep praying for global warming, and it's still not happening. So,
well, the way a girlfriend is with the air conditioning in this apartment, when winter comes, it will be no surprise. Okay.
Well, you're lucky you can get it that cool.
I actually had to get out of the bedroom and go lie down in the guest room, where it was a little bit warmer. And even at that, my feet were still freezing. Yes,
you know, but it's so cold. It's so hot in New York.
Brian had his hand up.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Brian. Brian?
Maybe you didn't.
Wait a minute, Brian. We can't hear you.
You're muted, Brian.
You're muted. Are you?
Hey, Brian, you missed dead shit. We had some dead rats on the show.
Boy.
That was one of the panel members.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. I think that's Brian. Are you there, Brian?
He can hear us. But
yeah, but he doesn't have any audio.
Yeah.
And he's.
I think he's trying to work with it.
Must be an AKG mic.
Well, hello, Kevin.
Good evening.
Oh, see, he can hear me. Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. It's a very, very fun fedora you have on there.
Yeah, it's a good-looking one.
Yeah.
I always like that style. What do they call it? A newsboy?
Newsboy.
Yeah, kind of. Or a driving cap.
Yeah. Well, the English.
Yeah.
Can't trust their news.
A new space army.
Yeah. Is that the uniform?
Oh no, what do they call it? What are they going to call it?
Space Patrol?
Space Patrol or whatever, yeah.
Space Force.
It's no different from Reagan's Star Wars. He wanted to have X-ray weapons and hunter-killer satellites.
Pew, 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 pew.
No, this is not like Star Wars. The Star Wars thing was an entirely different initiative.
Wasn't there some cartoon show that was like called Space Force or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
No, Alex. They want to have hunter-killer satellites and things that can disrupt communications from foreign governments. That's part of the space.
Yeah, but this had Star Wars had to do with missiles being shot from space.
Yeah, anti-missiles. Right.
Yeah.
But they've grown up, and now they're attacking us with other stuff.
But what this is going to be is the weaponization of space, which I'm totally against.
Well, do you believe the reports coming out of the Defense Department that both Russia and China have launched hypersonic missiles that can travel much faster?
That's fine, but we don't need a space force to do that.
Yeah.
Why not?
Hear me now?
Wait a minute. Yes, Brian, we can hear you.
Thank Christ. I switched phones.
Yeah.
But just time out for a minute or so. But you were talking about how cold your ass gets when you're sleeping with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I heard.
Wait, what?
For today, and listening to last night's podcast of your show, yours and Jack's show, and you were saying the same thing, and I'm thinking, I envy you. She and I would get along real well on account of the fact that me being the hot-blooded Irish, Polish motherfucker that I am.
Yeah.
I can't get enough air conditioning. I got that. I'm listening to you bitch about it while I have the air conditioning in my car cranked full blast.
I go in there and it's like an ice box, and she won't. She won't listen to me when it comes to the argument about how you use an air conditioner.
And I heard that too. And you know what you were saying about how the city doesn't want you. The city doesn't want you jacking up the AC on your unit in your room. Well, you know what? Fuck the city.
No. But that's not the point.
I want to be
the
cold.
point is that I have not been able. Let me finish, Phil. I've not been able
put
to
the hand up. That's all.
Well, what do I'm talking. It doesn't matter whether your hand is up or not.
Okay. So I'll put the hand down.
And then I'll recognize you after I'm finished with my thought, which I've now forgotten. So go ahead, Phil.
All right.
Since what
This
you
is
had
like
to
the
say,
Sunshine
since
Boys.
what you had to say was so fucking important, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to know what temperature, since it's so hot in Dubai, what temperature they keep normally keep homes and restaurants and so forth in Dubai because of the need for air conditioning.
It varies, you know.
But there's also a time.
Everyone has
There's also got to be a time of the year. Mute, would you, Ray? Mute.
Oh shit! You know what?
Thanks.
There we go. That's fine, Ray. Good. Do you have air conditioning on all year long where you are in Dubai?
No.
So there are times when you don't need air conditioning, you know,
Absolutely
because
not.
the thing is driving
people always get this wrong, but Dubai from pretty much November, December, January, February is absolutely perfect weather every single day. It's 72 degrees and no humidity and beautiful. For like 4 months, it's amazing. It's the best weather anywhere.
I was
What about
watching,
dust storms?
Not during those months, no.
You know, I was impressed with. I was watching a TV show about real estate in Dubai, and the people that were on it were outside at a cafe, and they were dressed in suits and ties, and they didn't look like they were even perspiring a bit. You know, it must have been that time of the year.
Yeah, it's a wonderful time, and one of the things that I wish they had more. I mean, they're trying to. They need more bike paths and walking paths. The marina is really nice, but like in the winter months, I can literally walk or ride my bike anywhere in the city, and it's just amazing because it's all flat. There's really no hills.
Now, do they have in Dubai? Do these guys all have those mega yachts? Like in Monaco, you look at the marina and you see these 700-foot yachts and just the most opulent show of wealth. Is it similar in Dubai?
Yeah, they have that.
Okay.
They're building the marina now. It's funny. They've determined that it's too small, so they're building like a mega marina now.
Getting back to air conditioning.
Carrier.
Yeah.
Syracuse.
The point that I try to make to her is that when she puts the thing on like 68, that doesn't make it any colder than if you put it on 75 and it's still going because the room is not down to 75 degrees. That really what you do is you put it someplace like 76 where you feel, hey, if it's 76, it's pretty comfortable in here, okay? And then the thing will turn itself on and off, depending upon whether you need more air or not. That's where you get the energy saving. That's where you pay less money for electricity and so on. But she doesn't understand that, and she doesn't like the fact that when she's asleep, it's turning itself on and off, on and off.
I don't think you're right.
I'm absolutely right. What?
Wait, I think each cycle brings the temperature down a little bit more, but there's only so many degrees difference between the outside and the inside that you can do with an air conditioner. So let's say it's 100 degrees outside, you might not be able to get it any cooler than 80 inside because of the what you're dealing with.
I've got it way cooler than that sometimes in the bedroom. Cooler.
When it's 100 outside?
Yes.
So now if it's on all day, it was explained to me by the HVAC guy that sold me the new unit for the store, that each cycle brings down the temperature. So by having it at the lower temperature, it'll continue to cycle and bring down the temperature.
It will continue, but the fact is that you're never going to reach, like if you put 68 degrees, you're never going to reach 68 degrees in that room, not on a hot day. But if you turn it at 76, it turns itself on and off, supplying you with enough heat, enough cool to make it 76 degrees in the room. Do you get what I'm saying? In other words, she doesn't understand how an air conditioner works. She may as well just put that thing on non-energy saving and put it at 68, and I'm going to be using the same amount of energy that we're using by her having it at 68 in the energy saving mode. As long as that thing is going, it's costing you money and it's using up electricity.
Well, you're a big-time radio guy. You got to go to the energy-saving mode. Why can't you just go to cold?
Well, she's got a nice job and she can afford it, so
more power to her. But we share the electric bill. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think it's because Alex hasn't been a big-time radio money in a while. By the way, hi, it's Steve.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, Alex, when is your radio thing?
What?
The 26th, I think.
Yeah, I dread it.
What's going on?
26th. Okay, I think I'll be in flight.
What's going on on the 26th?
I'm doing a national radio show. I'm hosting for a friend of mine for the night.
Oh, good. Is it a temporary thing or is it permanent?
Oh, it's temporary. It's one night. That's it. And
what station?
A whole bunch of
50 of
stations.
them, I
50 of them, I think. Something like that. Yeah.
Hey, do you need it live streamed?
What? What?
Yeah, he can live stream it.
Yeah, we could live stream it.
Am I going to hear it on Sirius or no?
This show is owned by Premiere. They don't need your live stream. They're on already.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Your show is owned by Premiere?
No. Listen closely, Steve.
No, the one that he's going to be on.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. And it's going to be on I think he's on 50 stations now. There's one in the San Francisco Bay Area for those of you who are calling from the Bay Area tonight.
Now, what's his show about?
It's about 2 hours.
No. What's the topics?
There is no. It's not political. It's
I understand.
Lifestyle. So, I'm just not looking forward to it. I dread it, actually, to be honest with you. I haven't done it in years, in about 5 years now, and he does a certain kind of show that's not the kind of show I do. Yeah. And I don't feel that I should go on his show and do my show. I should try and at least maintain what he does. You don't come in and rearrange the furniture, so to speak.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have invited you unless he knew that you have a radio personality that's been consistent for many years.
That's not what I'm talking about, John. I'm talking about the way the show is done.
He doesn't want to hijack.
Yeah, I think you follow the interaction of the people.
So do people call his show, or
I guess I haven't listened to it that much. I got to listen to it this week and get an idea about it. But what I've heard is pretty much lifestyle, and it's not political. It never gets political.
Maybe he's syndicated on 50 stations because he talks about makeup tips.
No.
I think request cancellation. Need to change shipping speed. Sorry, I'm doing the Amazon thing.
Oh, you're trying to cancel your order?
Yeah, they have a thing on there where you can say request cancellation. It says why, and then I say need to change shipping speed.
Either that, or you can just. I always put down ordered by mistake. That covers everything,
Yeah, well, that's the one I canceled. I used ordered by mistake because I ordered Newman's Own ginger tablets or something. You put them in your mouth and you suck on them. They're really good. They're like Altoids, but they're made out of ginger. And I pushed the hot cinnamon one by mistake. So I canceled the hot cinnamon and got the ginger.
What is a lively show tonight?
Oh, Amazon is saying
Yeah? What?
Yeah, you don't want to do
unable to cancel the items.
Why?
They will soon be shipped.
Oh, you have to do it within a certain amount of time. Usually it's
Yeah,
30
just-
minutes. Usually you have 30
You may
minutes.
refuse delivery or return them after they arrive.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll accept them. But the thing is that I ordered it 3 days ago. There's still no activity. You know, they haven't even shipped it.
Here's something.
Meanwhile, I ordered something yesterday, and it's coming tomorrow. So
It's probably not a prime
Yeah,
shipper. It's probably a third party.
No, it's
I
probably
checked on it. I could
Yeah.
get Prime and get it on Sunday. So that's why I tried to cancel it, and they're like, "No, you can't do that." So that's some of them.
They've done something.
When they gave me the Prime, they let me go in and I could change it. It says
They've
like
done
update it to
something.
Prime, and then I did.
I can't even talk.
Like smaller items, but the big item, they're like, "No, we can't do it." So
Yeah. Alex had his hand up.
No, forget it. Forget it. I'm giving up tonight. I just, you know.
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah.
Phil. Take over the show.
No, I forgot the I forgot the thing, but yeah, it was something to do with ordering something.
What
but,
I wanted to
forgot.
say about Amazon is that they have changed the way in which they send. In other words, the speed. They used to say 2-day shipping, and they still kind of say 2-day shipping, but it's not really 2-day shipping. Like if you order it on Friday, you used to get it on a Sunday. Now if you order it on a Friday, you won't get it till Tuesday. You get me? So that really it's 5-day shipping, it's not 2-day shipping.
It must be business days now.
Yeah, and it also, if I order something on Tuesday, I may not get it till Friday. You know, they've spread it out. You of course can do 1-day shipping, and in a lot of towns you can ask for it to be delivered the same day.
A couple of hours.
Yeah, but it depends on the item and depends on where it's being shipped from. But
Yeah.
But
Did they
Amazon-
raise your Did they raise your Prime to $130?
It's raised to they raised it only by $10, Phil.
No, mine went up $30.
Well, it was only supposed to go up 10, so you better get a hold of them. Yes, Bree.
Well, when I was passing through Paris, I was at the Louvre Metro station, and they have an Amazon pickup stop there. And I was like, oh, I should have just ordered it there. I probably would have gotten it already.
Yeah, yeah. But Amazon's kind of changed their rules a bit. I think they've had to do it in order to have a less expensive way of shipping all this stuff. You know, so that if they take their 2 days, but they can squeeze it out to 3, and if they can get you to take the post office instead of not the post office, which is what I have, they'd rather do that. You know, you seem like you had something you wanted to say, Kevin.
Yeah, well, the shipping rates have gone up a lot, and I've heard recently that they're also they got a big push, at least in this area. They just put out a big a push for people to join their logistics team. They got a big push for logistics people out here.
You mean delivery?
So I think they're hiring a bunch of logistics people, and they're going to put their own logistics people on and delivery people, and
I think
they got people at home to
Amazon
start doing their.
Amazon's going to start doing their own delivery as well.
Yeah,
they already are,
which is probably a good idea because they've got every Tom, Dick, and Harry going in there and picking up shit and throwing them in the back of their cars and delivering.
Well,
stuff.
I used to go apoplectic because they shipped everything by the post office if they could. Okay, and the post office here is really shitty. You know, I get
they do that, and they also have just freelancers going in there and picking up packages and throwing them in the back of their cars because I've had everybody pull up to my house and whoever's
anyway,
got three kids in the back of the car and they're throwing shit on the porch and taking off.
I said to Amazon I was sick of getting stuff by the post office because they were always fucking me over, you know.
Yeah.
And they said, well, okay, we'll put you down so that we say no USPS. So now it all comes by UPS most of the time. Some occasionally FedEx, but mostly UPS. And that's no problem. They come, they deliver it right to the door. I've never had a problem with them. But man, did I get apoplectic with that fucking post office. Jesus.
I've always had a problem with UPS and damage.
Really?
There was a nickname that a friend of mine one time came up with for UPS because they screwed things up sometimes quite a bit. She used to call it UPS. It stands for oops.
Well, I've
They
been
have
saying
such
that
a-
for years. Yeah.
They have such a volume of packages. You got to figure
It's
that
the oldest.
some things are going to get broken.
Yeah.
I understand things like that, but I don't understand that. Like, I waited all day for a package because I don't want to miss it, and then I get a note downstairs saying we tried to get to you, but you weren't home.
Yeah, that's crap.
You know.
Yeah.
What is that you're holding up there, Bree?
That's the item I ordered.
Yeah.
It's a reader.
Yeah.
It's a 13.3 inch e-ink screen.
Oh wow.
How do you carry all this shit that you own?
Yeah.
You know,
The
is that
reason I
$800
got
bucks?
this-
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys, if this is true for you, but like, for me, I constantly have to look at computer screen. I mean, I guess I don't have to, but if I want to do my job, I have to look at computer screens a lot. And I'm getting to the point where I just can't look at them anymore. I mean, Alex, you've got a bunch of stuff there. I don't know how you do it. I guess if you're doing it 2 hours a day, but like I'm in the office and I got my iPad and my cell phone and my Mac and my 2 PCs. And sometimes my eyes just bug out. So like I got
Oh my
this-
God! That must be horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. So I got the e-ink so that, when in those moments when I can no longer look at the screen, I can switch over to the e-ink and I can keep reading or writing or working.
Is the e-ink what they've been using all along for Amazon? Because they.
You mean that reader, whatever that
yeah,
Amazon reader?
The Amazon reader kind of.
I'm not sure.
It didn't use LCDs.
The Kindle.
The Kindle, yeah, the Kindle.
Yeah.
Was that
Was
e-ink?
the Kindle was Amazon? It wasn't. What was the name of that bookstore?
It was Amazon.
No, it's
Oh.
Kindle is Amazon. I still use mine
Yeah.
all the time.
You're thinking of Nook, Barnes and
Nook,
Noble,
that's
or
it,
the
Barnes and
Kobo,
Noble Nook,
which is
yeah.
Borders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was
Oh,
thinking. of.
Borders had one too.
Yeah,
Hey,
they had one called
you wanna know-
Kobo, which is actually
Yes, I got to tell you something. The same guy who invented the one for Barnes and Noble is the
Yeah.
same guy who invented the Tesla. His name's Martin Eberhard.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Is there still
He's
such
working with my
thing?
wife.
I
don't think
there
so.
Still, no, is there still such thing as Borders? Because here they're not.
yeah,
No,
we have Borders in Dubai.
But they don't.
Oh, wow.
They don't exist here any longer. Yeah, you have them in Dubai and up in Alaska. They have one Blockbuster left, and I think it's closing. By the way.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
here there's some Barnes and Noble. The one in Walnut Creek closed, but the one in San Mateo is still open.
You know, Barnes and Noble's still
Yeah, we have some
going
Barnes
concern.
and Noble. Yeah.
But
I love Barnes and
Barnes
Noble.
and Noble's
Yeah.
actually switched over to a internet model in which you buy
Yeah.
all your books through the internet.
I used to just go there, sit down, have coffee, read.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
look at
yeah,
the magazines.
The question
Yeah.
is, what's going to happen to the malls? The malls are all going to be
They're
a thing of the
losing a
past.
lot of tenants.
Huh?
Lower flight.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Yeah, I'm near one right now. I went through one, and the places that are gone, the vacancy, in
Yeah.
this area too, but it's the
yeah.
tax-
They're going to be
Yeah,
Amazon
Pa-
distribution centers.
Patrick?
Yes.
Patrick has his hand up.
Yeah, one of the things they're doing in the Milwaukee area, they've been doing it for maybe about five or so years, I think they're called like outdoor malls, where it's no longer standalone buildings, everything inside. They don't need anchor stores, but it's like a main street sort of idea where there's 15 or 20 stores of a reasonable size that are specialty stores, and So it's just like a mall, but you go outside, and there's entrances to each individual place rather than.
So it's more like a downtown.
Well, no, we have those here out in Queens, for instance. When I go with Shecky, we go to a place, and every place has a front door. You know, it's not really a mall. It's more like I don't know what you would call it exactly.
Brookstone closed. They're closing. I don't know how many thousands of outlets. Do you remember Bombay Company?
No,
I don't think anybody ever bought something there.
Crocs is going out too.
Who?
I've heard of it. I don't. Yeah.
We have the Northgate Mall here in San Rafael, and Sears just left, and they're thinking of retaining some of the mall, tearing down some of it, and building multi-story housing. So that's on the drawing board here in San Rafael.
And the Northgate Mall was a huge mall.
Macy's,
well,
for Marin County. Marin County wasn't known for its malls.
That's right.
Yes, Patrick.
Yeah, that was the other thing that I had forgot. We're at malls, they are also doing limited condo or high-end apartments, so that everything contained. So if you've got, let's say a 6-story condo building that holds, let's say 80 units or whatever. The people live there, and then everything that they need there is the shop, and it's all contained there. But it's not an inside thing; it's an outdoor experience. Which I think is ridiculous, considering it's Wisconsin and it snows half the fucking year. But whatever.
Yeah.
What
I'm thinking is you should take one of these malls and just empty it out, empty all the people out and everything, and open up the world's longest bowling alley.
Where is the Great Mall of America
it's in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis?
Yeah.
It's Minneapolis. Yeah. Is that one experiencing anything? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't live there. Bree?
I don't know.
You used to.
The guy on YouTube.
Hey,
wait a minute. Let's Bree. Look, Bree is trying to talk. Go ahead,
that's
Bree.
Fine. There's a guy on YouTube that goes through these old malls and has made documentaries on this, I guess. And even around here, I go to some of the malls, and they're just shells of their former selves. And when I'm in Dubai, the malls are so vibrant and so much activity. And I just sit there and I think, I wonder, if in 20 years, if these malls will be the same as what's happening in the States as well.
Well, question: Does the Dubai government censor the internet there? Because internet commerce has been largely responsible for the decline of the malls.
No, Souk. We have something called Souk.com, which was recently purchased by Amazon, and it's becoming Amazon-like. And in fact, Amazon. When I'm back in Dubai and I show my video, their building is right next to my apartment. But another thing, when I was in Malaysia, the place where I interviewed, it's very interesting. The whole town is owned by one guy, and it was built on a former tin mine, I think, or something. Everything is within that town. Like, there's a free shuttle that goes around. There are covered walkways. There's a resort. There's a mall. Everything is kind of like that. And I think that might be the future, where it's kind of like a big gated community to a certain extent. They have their own security force. And I think, that some places at least are moving towards this.
Well, my question is, what is going to happen? There's a certain socialization that happened as the result of a mall. Kids would go down on a Friday night to the mall to hang out with the other kids. Once the mall is gone, what's going to happen to that socialization? I mean, is it going to become more and more distant? Are they just going to do it online? Things like that. To
online,
a point where
I don't know. Maybe parks or
No, what I'm saying is, I think that you're holding up your phone, and you're right, Bree. But what I'm saying is, this is the desocialization of American culture, or of just any culture. Yes, Patrick. And by the way, Patrick, Did you do something to your audio like I asked you to do? Because you're coming through loud and clear tonight without any pumping up and down and all of that.
No, in fact, I went in there and it was already off the automatic. So I don't know. I didn't do anything.
You're loud and clear tonight. You know.
Yeah, Patrick. You sound good. You sound clear.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, Patrick, you had your hand up.
Yeah. I think the onset of video games in the home, and I know I sound like I'm fucking 90 years old, but I think video games in the home versus when I was a kid, we used to go to the arcade. And, you know, maybe somebody had an Atari, but the arcade is where the good games were. And in the last 20 years or so, I mean, even when I was with my ex, with her kids, they never really had any friends that came over that did anything other than they would play video games. Nobody went outside. The kids nowadays don't play outside. We set up play dates with kids, and what are the play dates? They play fucking video games. I mean, and Bree's right, with the cell phone, it's going to be texting each other. It's going to be this type of thing. Skype.
Patrick, if they go outside, they get abducted. Look at that gal in Iowa. You know, she went for a run. Nobody saw her again.
Hey, now there's a thing for the malls. They could turn them into giant paintball amusement parks, you know, where you suit up and you shoot people with paintballs.
They already are, but they're using real guns.
I'll tell you one thing that I think that really messes up the malls is when they build these big, 12, 16, 20, whatever screen movie theaters. And there's one thing I do like about them, and Alex, because I know you really like the old theaters and the movies, so do I. One thing I never liked.
Whatever gave you the idea? I like the old movie theaters.
I don't know. I thought you did. Maybe
no. I mean, it still had people kicking you in the back of the seat, and
he likes the ones with the reclining chairs.
Right. The one thing I like about the newer, even though it messes up a mall and it's really busy and it's crowded, the design, you have a center row, you have two side rows, as many auditoriums or cinemas as they have. They kind of make them like theaters were when they were single auditoriums, and I really do like that. And the seats, nobody's kicking each other in the head. They're pretty clean. I do like that.
Well, most of the theaters now, I don't know what ones you're going to, but most of the theaters now have the reclining seats and everything.
Oh, yeah. They're great. Yeah.
Since I bought a large TV and started using Netflix and all of those things, I haven't walked into a theater.
The only time you need to go to a theater is when you're going to go see something, when you're going to see a popular film. No, when you're going to go see
I saw the Star Wars.
I mean, when you're going to go see a film that you kind of want that group energy of watching it.
Yep.
Yeah. Kevin, you look like you want to say something, but you're not saying something. Kevin?
Nope, I wouldn't say nothing.
Because you were kind of nodding, and I figured maybe you had something to add to that.
Just agreeing.
But, I mean, I agree with Phil. I mean, pretty much most films that you want to go see today are going to be available either on cable or for sale within 3 months. So why go see them today? Why go rush to, you go to a movie. I've talked about this before. We go to the comfy chair theater, and for two seniors, and it's a 3D movie, it's $42. And then it's another $25 with the total cab fare both ways. And then you add another $15 for popcorn. You've spent $80 to go to a movie. It better be fucking good.
It's cheaper to go to a ball game.
Yes, John.
That's a lot of fucking money.
John.
One thing I've noted in the past 4 or 5 years since I've been live streaming MMA, and you've seen this, Phil, because Phil's been on 2 of them with me now, the auditoriums are packed with people watching this. And there's another thing that I went to in Oakland, I think once a month on Fridays, is Hood Slam. It's like big time wrestling, you know. It's people dress up in costumes, and those things are so packed. There's no sitting room.
Yeah, but you're in all deference to you, you're actually promoting people beating the crap out of each other.
Not for
I mean,
Hood Slam,
it's not at least in movies. I know those people aren't getting hurt in the movies. You know.
Well,
hey, I just want to say.
Wait a minute. Let Ray say something.
I just want to say that, John, I think I said this before, but you do a great job. I mean, you're up there with the UFC in terms of quality, I think.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And I wish people were. But then I see there's only like 5, 6, 7 people who watch the damn things.
Oh, no. We have a pretty big audience. So they're in Brazil, all over the world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Oh, you mean when it's live?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's live. Yeah, okay. I'm talking about the YouTube.
Somebody's got a satellite phone.
Patrick's got his hand up, but also, just for a second, what is that you've got there, Bree?
Fuck.
This is a walkie-talkie.
Real?
Oh, really?
40 channels.
Oh, are you the only guy on it?
Probably.
Yes, Patrick.
I was thinking of making an app that's like CB, where you just go on and everybody can
wait
talk.
a minute. You're forget about it. The next iPhone iteration coming out in about a month is going to have a walkie-talkie feature.
Is that the Nextel iPhone?
No, it's the Apple phone, iPhone, and you click it, and I can
But I don't want to
I can do that
walkie-talkie,
and just
CB
click it and talk to my
That's not what
girlfriend,
you're
talk to Marjorie. Marjorie can talk back. It's an open line. It's going to be a walkie-talkie feature on the iPhone coming next month to an iPhone near you. Yes,
But
Patrick.
they used to have that walkie-talkie.
Oh, that's
10
really
years ago.
cool. That's good.
Okay, Patrick had his hand up.
I would. Back, I think the only thing that you can get anybody in the season packed on a regular basis are live events like baseball games, football, or MMA, something like that, because or a concert, because that's a shared experience even more so than a movie. And I think, like you said, with the movies, when they're available 3 months later, I mean, I would rather spend the $20 and pick up the Blu-ray than spend the $20, go to the fucking theater. I can't sit in a comfy seat anyway, so I'm sitting on an aisle seat and jagging around with people. I'd just rather wait a couple of months.
Well, you know, I mean, like I've got a 65-inch 4K television set here, and when you go to see a movie at the theaters now, they're projected electronically. They're not projected with film any longer, and what you're watching is 4K. So why don't I just watch it at home? What do I need to go to a movie theater for?
Yeah. You take all the aggravation. Yeah.
It's not like I'm interacting with other human beings when I go to the movie theater.
And the expense.
Hey, well, that's maybe why Quentin Tarantino still shoots in film. You know, I think the last 3 films he did was in 75 millimeter.
No,
So
you're wrong. You're wrong.
They have to get the projectors.
The last film he did in 70 millimeter, and they projected it in some theaters, just a handful of theaters around the country.
Correct.
The rest were being projected by video, just like anybody else. He shoots on film, but then it's converted to digital, and then it's shown in the theaters. Yeah. But Harvey Weinstein was nice enough to go out and round up all the 70 millimeter projectors that were still around, and then they had to find somebody in each of the markets where the film was being shown who knew how to operate a 70 millimeter projector. Okay, and that was another problem. You're also dealing with the projectionist unions and so on. But I went and saw it in 70 millimeter, and it was nice to see it in 70 millimeter. But, you know, eventually I'm going to be watching it on my screen at home, and it's going to be digital. So really it was just a stunt more than it was anything else at this point. But film does have a quality to it that shooting digitally does not have. There's no question about it. You know.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
Yeah, for years, my father worked for Sony after he worked for Ampex, and he used to sell this extremely expensive piece of equipment from Sony to the studios in LA, and it would take the film, it would digitize it, and then they would take out all the mistakes, the wires and stuff that were in the way, and then they would put it back on film from this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It cost like $500,000, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
and then they distribute it with film.
Now for the most part they're just shooting digitally, and that's it.
Yeah,
What you're watching really is a television picture that's been shot at 24 frames per second, so it looks like film. I mean, again, I saw the Quentin Tarantino. What was the Western he did?
Hateful Eight.
Hateful Eight in 70 millimeter. I saw it out of 70 millimeter theater for it, and it looked gorgeous. It was wonderful to see. But so what? I mean, it was basically he used the old one camera Cinerama process that they had come out with, which was Super Panavision basically, and that's what he shot it in. And it looked gorgeous, looked terrific, and it was nice to see film. But you can shoot digitally and make it look really good too. So I think it's the content of what the film's about and whether it's any good and whether it's interesting to watch that matters, and not how it's shot.
But it's a little technical question.
Unless it is the narration.
What were you going to say, Steve?
I was going to say that does digital, if you do digital and convert it to actual film, does that help it a little bit?
No. Why would you do that? Why would you do that in this day and age? You're going to do it the other way around. You might shoot it on film and then you make you digitize it. But there isn't a theater in America unless it's a special theater that isn't just showing nothing but digital video as the main thing that's going on the screen.
Right.
And it's funny because a few years ago when they first started going digital, nobody wanted to have the expense of going to it. Now everybody does nothing but that. You can't.
Yes.
And the trouble is, there's nobody up in the booth knowing what's going on. I've gone to 3D movies where it wasn't in 3D. I've gone to 3D movies where there was no light on the screen.
If you complain about
I know how much you love
it.
And I complain about it, and I have to. It's like I'm an idiot. Like what's your problem? What, you don't like the fact that it's not in 3D? I said I paid $4 more for 3D. I think I should get 3D. You morons.
Yeah, but, and I know how much you always like this.
But the problem is that they don't have anybody up in the projection booth who knows what's going on. So, because it's all being automatically done. Anyway.
Well, when I went and saw Black Panther, they left the 3D lens on the 2D movie, and it was too dark. And I went and complained. And the place was full. You couldn't even see anything, and I was the only one who complained.
Here's the funny part about. I saw something where they wasn't in 3D at all, even though it was supposed to be a 3D showing. Everybody in the theater had their glasses on and thought they were seeing 3D, but they weren't. And I had to go down and complain about it, and they said, "There's nothing we can do about it." So I said, "Here." They said, "You want your money back?" I said, "Damn rights, I want my money back."
Hey, did you talk about a Better Call Saul yet?
Yeah, like I got 2 minutes, 1 minute left of the show. I'm going to talk about Better Call Saul.
I was just wondering if you've done it yet.
No, I hadn't talked about it.
Save it for next week.
I felt it was kind of boring, actually. Yeah. Anyway, that's about it for tonight. Boy, we kind of ended on a good note. Got into some good discussion. I want to thank Phil for being here as always. When's your operation, Phil?
The 16th
of this month.
Oh, good. Yeah, good luck.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, that's next week.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm keeping a good thought out for you, and I hope everybody else will too.
I appreciate it.
Ray Renati, thank you, Patrick, thank you, Kevin, thank you, John. Always good to see you, John. Even though you like showing people getting the crap beaten out of them. Brian, thank you, and of course to Steve, thank you for calling. Why don't all of you wave a goodbye to everybody so that they can see you disappear into the ether? There we go. That's our citizen panel for tonight. Let me end the calls here, and let me turn off the Skype so the next show can use it. I'm going to take a couple of days off. Thank God, I need it. And then we'll be back again on Tuesday, right after Damian Chaplin. Stay tuned for The Intersection with Jack Bishop. That's followed closely at 1 o'clock in the morning by Connections. I will see you, as I said, on the aforementioned next Tuesday at 10 Eastern Daylight Time. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye.